you are part of the demographic that it ascertains to. That's what that means.
Let this boy keep lying to y'all if y'all want.
Anyone telling you that I can't get you access to funds that you don't have to pay back is uneducated highly. And I love when they do that because then I'm proven wrong every time. But not for their sake or for your sake, the person who these programs are for and the people that I'm out to empower. Because we don't cater to trolls. So the first thing is we're talking about spirituality today. Church, property, and revenue.
Oh, he done went and got a marker board.
Today I come to talk to you about real stuff.
Y'all ain't ready.
I'm about to talk to you about black
for
power
them 5 different colors.
Because everybody wants to be in the black.
In one outfit, fam.
Everyone wants to be
Make sure
black.
you take your Tylenol.
You don't want to be in the red. But that deals with the deficit and the debt. So this whole Black Friday thing, the connotation is in it.
I told you.
It has an economic connotation, an economic overtone. And what it basically stipulates is that
I figured he was gonna go live last night fussing about turkey and shit. But no, it's Thursday, it's Saturday.
Okay? Alright.
They don't want to be up so more.
Let's go for it. Remember, you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com.
Said he looked like a gondola operator.
$2,000 service to get me as your mentor. Get the caseworker that's gonna deal with your credit and get access to this free money that they call free. But I say you work for this money, and I'll show you how. So let's talk about it. Which one should we do first? We have this 7202 form. Here goes this money right here. 7202 form. This IRS form right here.
That's a 2021.
What was this for? Let's see. It's credits for sick leave and family leave for certain self-employed individuals. When these opportunities come around, right? Is it taught in school so you can learn about these opportunities? Every time there's a new IRS form stipulating your opportunities that are abound financially, do they say it's a mandate for us to teach this in school so you know about it?
Quit bucking your damn eyes, dude.
Do they say it's a mandate to tell the American community that we need to post this on a commercial? We need to post this on a commercial so you guys are aware that such a thing exists so you can get your money. No! Tell me something, guys. When the hell do you ever find out about money that'll be given to you?
Okay, shout out.
When it's way too late. That's real talk. When do you ever find out about these opportunities?
I don't
until
know how
10,
long
20
he
years
was live, so I got
oh shit.
Alert.
And how many people benefited? And what demographic of people benefited from it? And how come yet again we missed the boat? Because while everybody's watching videos of gossip, consistent with gossip on the internet, and different jokes and different trolling and different naysayers out there, you tell me, when does anyone ever tell you about these type of opportunities that are available to you via the Treasury or IRS? So I'm taking the time to show you guys. But this is what we do for you as part of the mentorship. Because look, it's all these damn pages.
Here's somebody's house. They got all kind of collectibles.
And then it becomes German after a while.
He probably cussed them out.
It's all shit you gotta read and or fill out. And it gets intimidating.
Fun tip. Anybody can print them motherfuckers off the IRS website. Go to school
to learn how to deal with forms of this kind when it's the most valuable to us. So here it is. What is this form about? Because it's gibberish right now. Credits for sick leave and family leave for certain self-employed individuals. Credits. Just using the word credit alone throws you off. Credit, what? Doesn't make sense to you just because of the words, the verbiage that they use. That's why we have to get into the nomenclature of economics, right? But now, let's go. So basically, if you guys are self-employed, the Uber driver, the Lyft driver.
This is the sick leave for people, for independent workers.
Contracting, washing cars, putting together furniture, whatever. This applies to you, and the most important part that applies to you is on this page.
Refundable, qualified sick and family leave
equivalent
credits
Uber, right?
if you are able to.
I know a lot of you
if you are unable
Lyft, right?
to perform services
so a lot of you
as an eligible self-employed individual due to certain COVID-19 related circumstances.
Less than $511 a day.
between
as long as you make
January
less
1st,
than
2021 and September 30th, 2021.
At least twice.
That form ain't even fucking valid no more.
Everyone has had the right to be impacted by COVID negatively twice, whether you had it twice or been impacted by it on 2 occasions.
Might roll it over to
Say, for
this year.
instance, your children.
But this is only for
take
people that say they work for themselves, and only some of them.
Then you had to stay home and watch your children.
Somebody that's talking about be the testimony.
Somehow, someway, you guys have been impacted negatively by the circumstances that surrounded the crisis. I'm sure you all can confirm at some point or the other, it has messed up your money at some point or the other. And if you have been messed up or compromised due to not being able to work, due to being sick, due to your children being sick, due to your children not being able to go to school, due to restaurants being closed, whatever the case may be, then this money applies to you and you can apply for it. And you should get a mentor because basketball players have trainers. Pardon me, basketball players have coaches. Boxers have trainers. Because if they go in a fight without a trainer, they like to get their ass kicked. So when it comes to money, just like the boxer has a trainer and basketball players have coaches, when it comes to money, who do you have to make sure you can see these things through? You need a mentor. And that's why I say you go to brotherpolite45@gmail.com. Only contact us when you're ready. You leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready. $2,000 for the service will get you access to 7 figures. I ain't gonna pull no punches, because by the time you employ the knowledge we teach you, the credit cards we get you,
we will address all emails. That's scamming that on the phone, typing.
So, let's give you some of the stipulations here. Y'all make sure y'all research. 7202, okay? Form 7202, okay? And it's called the sick leave and family leave form, okay? Credits for sick leave and family leave. Form 7202. And I told you the most important part of that form is stipulation 31A, where it says account of qualified family leave wages you received from an employer or period
hold on,
of
see
leave
right there,
taken
it say
after
December 31st, 2020.
and
It's
before April
2022.
1st, 2021. See instructions.
If you ain't
Okay.
filed your taxes yet, you got fines to pay, baby.
I give you guys reference points, because the tricky thing about it is people want to say this is not real, that's not true, he can't get you money that you don't have to pay back. People love to say that, right? But then I'm supposed to fucking spend my time hours on end going through this whole shit for free for hours, knowing people are gonna say I don't want to watch a 2-hour Instagram video. See, people say his videos on Instagram is over an hour, Facebook videos over an hour, because I'm meticulous and I want to teach. Then people go, yeah, right, watch a video for a whole hour. So which one's going to be? Do you want the money? Or you want to exchange time for money like you do at the workplace? Do you want to complain about how long the video is? Am I supposed to sit here, break all of this stuff down? Or do I just simply provide the service so you can get to this money and more? What I do is outline it so you have an idea and a point of reference for how I'm getting you the money, so there's no gray areas. But we have professionals to make sure you get this right the first time around when you fill it out. Okay? But basically, in essence, 7202 form is for anybody who's been impacted financially, hindered in some shape, form, or fashion, where the crisis has impeded on your ability to generate revenue. That's all of us. Don't you dare say it don't apply.
Hold on, I'm just throwing up the thumbnail.
And now that you know it applies to you, you need to apply for this to get your money. Okay, so this is how the form looks. One more time, I showed you it. Okay, and this is based on your 1099 that you had to fill out. So if you're an Uber driver, you had to fill out your 1099. If you're a Lyft driver, you had to fill out your 1099, or whatever it is that you do as an entrepreneur. This applies to entrepreneurs. 1099. Okay? For those of you that
and why you got that dumbass music playing in the background?
This applies to you. We know you guys 500 employees. This applies to you guys. Okay? So now let me give you something else. Where the money
this is
so-called free. And now that you know the price, you need to apply for this. Give you access that you don't have to pay back. Give you access that you don't have to pay back. It's called the employee retention credit. And let me make this clear. This is 1099, and this one applies to W-2. Why am I doing this? To show you we leave nobody behind. We're leaving nobody behind. And guess what? For you guys here, yo, I'm not really in the banking system, son. You know what I mean? I ain't really got no job. I'm making my paper.
Yeah, that's him playing that dumbass music in the background.
Yo, I got something for your ass too. To get that money. 30, 50 grand. ASAP. Okay? But we gotta fix your credit. We gotta fix your credit. And please, those of you who think you got a 750 credit score, so I don't need none of that, I just want to get the money, we gotta fix your credit too. The greatest misconception is that just because your credit score is 750, your credit doesn't need to be fixed. That is the biggest misconception on planet Earth. Because I can look into check systems and I can see your previous closed accounts and how that's being solicited. That data is being solicited by way of consumer data aggregates over to credit bureaus and banks so they can compromise the integrity of loans that you could have been approved for way larger or at all. Or I can go to LexisNexis and we can see what everyone is saying about you in terms of how you bank in business with other people in any capacity and how that's being used against you and how we need to communicate and correspond with them to stop it. But first realize a point of reference for why you're being hindered in terms of getting access to so much. So I would like to inform you that there's a lot of people who don't know nothing until I start teaching. I can't see the comments, right? But I can guarantee you this. Oh, this information is given out for free on the internet, so why you gotta pay him? And I always say, show me one video that looks like mine. Show me somebody who shows you the damn forms like I do. And gives you reference points for you to look it up. Because at the end of the day, yeah, go ahead and attempt to do it for free. I'm not saying this is above or beyond your intelligence. I'm saying that this was designed so they can keep the professionals hired. So
if he was a professional, why would he be showing a tax form from 2021?
Well, they can still make money one way or the other in an endeavor to give you some kind of money. Deal with the professionals. Deal with people who know what they're doing. But understand, anyone...
And I just want y'all to notice, listen to the scam music in the background. Is it loud enough? Can y'all hear it okay? Or do I need to cut it up or down? Just let me know.
That tells you that you don't have the right to access monies that you're qualified for, that you don't have to pay back, is a damn liar. And so I want 10% of whatever I get you access to, because by the time we're done, we're going to...
Loans, by definition, you have to pay back. Now, if you was telling people that you was getting grants for them, then that would be a different story. But you talking about loans and credit cards, dude, that shit ain't flying.
Get your access to grants, forgiveness loans, settlements that apply to you through predatory lending by way of banks, breaches that's taking place by way of spamming. We have so many different approaches to getting you access to funds that you don't have to pay back. Is ridiculous. But again, if I'm saying something so weird, ask yourself, if these things are true, if this 720, 720-2010, our business owners out there, right? And they'll give you as much as $26,000, $26,500 per person, so long as you have at least 5 or more people as part of your company.
Look at this thing right here. I don't work here. I'm a consultant. Negro, please. Hey, Melissa. My thing is, all the body language and the eye bucking and the hand and arm gestures. Girl, I thought he was going to go live Thursday fussing about some turkey giving me and testosterone, estrogen problems. But all of that, if I need a body language expert, because they going to tell y'all he lying.
And it can't be 1099, they got to be W-2. So you see, in one instance, the 7202 form, you have to be 1099. And in terms of the employee retention credit, you have to be W-2. You have to have at least 5 employees in that particular.
Make sure y'all take
in
out
the
time
7202 form, you have to be making less than $511 a day, not exceeding 10 days, but applies to you at least twice under 2 different circles by talking to an expert that hasn't told you this information. I'll say it again, might went over your head. Make sure you speak to a professional that hasn't told you about this information to make sure what I'm saying is true, because I'm only a dropout. I'm a 9th grade dropout. Okay, so make sure you talk to a CPA, accountant, or a financial advisor of some sort to just make sure I'm not steering you away in the wrong direction.
Okay, so if you can talk to a financial advisor or an accountant, what they need you for?
Make sure you.
And how many of these people that he's targeting have access to a tax professional or an accountant? I'd say about 5%.
Know about a 7202, and then find out what the hell people are charging you just to complete the application process.
Headache already, and we ain't even been
We're not stopping just at one thing. We're going to see if you qualify for 10, 15 damn things. Just giving you some examples. So the employee retention credit, also brought to you by the Treasury, is another form of tax credit. And what happens is they'll give you at least $26,000 per employee, so exceeding $12,000 by just making your children employees. We can show you how to do that. Credit.
What about child labor laws? You making your child an employee of your business, but what about child labor laws? I've never heard you mention those once, and I'm quite sure you're talking about underage children. You're also talking about having children work for your business, but most of these people don't have a business. So then you says you could flim-flam to make it seem like they had a business. So that means that you basically setting them up to go to jail. Fair time is a motherfucker because they do day for day.
Yes, you know what? Before I talk to you people who have nothing really going on.
And let me ask y'all a question real quick. How many financial advisors you know wear damn near the same clothes every day? Them pants right there go with that shirt. And that shirt he got on, he got another pair of pants. That's the color of this shirt. And he be wearing them. He just mixing and matching outfits.
But you making some kind of money, and I can still get you around $30,000 to $50,000. Let's do this. They don't teach you about this at school. Right?
You know what? They teach you that stuff if you go to school for business. That's why it's called continued education. They have business school, don't they? Mm-hmm.
Let's make P principal. Let's make I.
That hat don't match at all.
Let's make T taxes. Let's make I insurance. What a pity. What a pity you haven't been taught this in school. Let's do it like this. That's crazy. Because from pre-K to 12th grade is 14 years of being in school with this idea that one day is going to make you money. 14 years of going to school. If parentheses first. So it was PIMDAS. And we knew the order of the operations, right? And none of that shit helped us come out the projects. And I'm not saying we don't need to know basic math. Or maybe even sequential mathematics 1 to 4 possibly. It's good.
Sequential mathematics?
You talk it up.
Anybody done been to a class called sequential mathematics? I done been to algebra 1, algebra 2, geometry, calculus, but I ain't never been to no sequential math class. Sequential math. February the 2nd, his trial star, X Friedman. Peace and welcome.
Consumer math.
No doubt. Consumer math. You can talk it up. Ain't nothing wrong.
Sequential mathematics is a part of, calculus.
Here. Our circles run deep over here. Consumer math. So there's nothing wrong with sequential mathematics 1 to 4. There's nothing wrong with mental calisthenics. I love math.
Sequential math 1 through, that ain't even a goddamn class in nobody's school. That's in calculus, you dumbass. It's a formula.
Just keeps me thinking. Love, work, problems, and all that, right? Well, I'm going to tell you how they bled us out. They taught you so much slick shit and carrying the ones and not really, hey, you learned to shade an apple 3 different ways and make it look 3-dimensional in art class. You got some free time in the gym, and all the while they taught you nothing about credit, they taught you nothing about the housing industry.
Elementary, middle, and high school are basic education where they teach you what old folks used to say, the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Not because they all start with 3 R's, but because they... Arcade with him. You ain't even past algebra 1, Negro, and you talking about sequential math?
different calculations living as adults. So in
Because
school,
remember, you dropped out of high school in the 8th, 9th. You either dropped out of middle or high school, because I ain't mistaken. 8th grade is in middle school. So you either dropped out in the 8th, 9th, or the 10th grade. You didn't make it. You didn't make it. You didn't make the cut. You didn't feel like you made the cut. You didn't feel like you could make the cut, so you quit.
how to use a mortgage calculator. So today, guys, we're going to learn how to use a mortgage calculator. How about that?
A mortgage calculator isn't a regular calculator, dumbass. Oh my God. Hold on. Wait
And
a
so
second.
say we have a 500,000. What we're going to do, let's say the interest, and we're going to break down the interest. But right now, let's say the interest is 9. This is the reason we'll put it up to 9.
VA loan affordability.
60 there.
See, it's gonna break that one up for me because I'm in the military.
Right?
But let's do a
So
regular
we're going to put
okay, let me pause him for a second.
0.
A mortgage calculator, you put in how much the house is worth, your down payment, the amount of the loan, and the interest rate. You can't do that on a regular calculator. And then it just tells you how much your mortgage is gonna be per month. If you have an HOA fee, home insurance, if that's wrapped up in your mortgage loan, your property taxes, all of that, and then it tells you how much you're gonna pay per month. You can't do that on a regular calculator unless you do a couple of problems. You have to do one first and then the other one and then the other one, but the mortgage calculator allows you to input all of it right there and get the answer. Dumbass. That's how we know you ain't got no property.
Great mortgage, so we can put 360 months.
Bitch.
That's what the 360. And now that we've got their mortgage loan, the 9% interest, and the 360-month term, we're going to press payment.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
So our payment is going to be to the T, $4,023.11. I want you to pay attention to that. Now let's look at another model.
Let's look at this mortgage calculator.
What I just did, right? Let's focus on the insurance part. The homeowner's insurance, right?
Okay, I just bought my house, so I can tell you. I'm not gonna tell you how much my house is worth or nothing like that. But let's say the house is worth $200,000, right? Okay, so then you gonna put down $20,000. The loan amount is gonna be $180,000, right? But then you have the interest rate. And then you have the long term. Are you going to do 15 years? Are you going to do 30 years? Property taxes. Let's say they $1,200 a year because I live down south. Home insurance is going to be a little bit less than $2,000, so we just going to average it out. Monthly HOA, if you happen to be stuck in one of them shits, let's say $25 a month. Loan type, conventional. You have different loan types. So then you compare the loan rates and it gives you, but see, this is going to try to get me a loan and I don't need one, but then it gives you the payments, and you can see it over here to the right. And what he don't know and they don't know because they nan one of them bought nan piece of property.
Important. Okay. So you have the what? Who out there knows the private insurance?
In order to calculate your loan payment on a calculator, you need that marker board back there so you can put each one of them things down and add them together and subtract.
Because if you're a homeowner, there's probably a reason why you're paying Tory lending. So private mortgage insurance. Remember when I showed you a one working model where you have the interest at about 9%, and then another model, the interest is about 5%.
Because it depends on the housing market, dumbass. Let's see what he's gonna say though.
You guys, when you got a house, you couldn't afford it in the first place. Hence the term subprime. There's old prices for giving people homes that they couldn't afford, and they knew analytically.
And what does buying a house have to do with an ERC credit?
That these people were going to default 3 to 5 years plus time from the time that they got the property that they couldn't afford because they already did advanced metrics and the data analytics told them that based on your business history,
you know why people were losing their homes? Because we had people that were practicing illegal housing practices. That's why the first time the housing market crashed. They were sitting up here falsifying documents to get these people these houses, and these people could not afford them. So they lost the house. High turnover rate means the mortgage lenders got to keep getting those mortgages out over and over again. Boom.
History, or the lack of it thereof, and their finances, they knew you couldn't afford a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 loan that they was going to approve you for.
They wouldn't
but they knew they can write off your debt and your taxes as a gift.
That's on the real estate
agent, that home
not
all
the
over again to
mortgage
somebody that's unsuspecting just like you. And while you can't get your bankruptcy off your credit for $720,
I don't know why I blocked that one, ex Freedman, but
they're pushing this private mortgage insurance on you because you're sub, and you won't have to pay all that money. We're saving you tens of thousands of dollars. We're saving you almost $2,000 a month on your mortgage. We're saving you over $1,500 a month on your mortgage. We're saving you over $800 a month on your mortgage. We're saving you, in other instances, over $2,500 a month on your mortgage. Okay? Mortgage calculator. This is important, man.
Hey, Melissa, let's go to the store and buy a mortgage calculator. And see how them folk look at you. Like
I gotta really do a whole housing thing for you guys. Let's go back to these people here. Well, all you got is your name is credit, and your credit ain't that good either. What can we do for you? Well, one, we can create a company real quick for you. For two, we can borrow against another company's history. And because if we do that, now you can qualify as a business owner to get monies that you ordinarily or otherwise wouldn't have been qualified for.
He gonna have
for those of you
jail.
Who pride yourselves in having really good credit scores, so you don't need your credit fixed. But then I say, well, where's your black cards and your unlimited cards and your credit cards that don't have late fees? Where's your loans of $300,000, $400,000,
$500,000? That email is not working.
Because you don't have to pay back since your credit's so good. Because what happens is your credit's not that good. All the 750, 760 scores are stipulating is that you've been paying things on time relatively. Maybe not even your whole time, but of recent. And that in itself warrants you to have that nice score of 750, but then they go playing games with you, because they got you thinking, once you're over 750, that's the end all. Now, having a high credit score accounts for something good. It says you're trustworthy, right? But in another instance, let me ask you a question. What is your debt to income ratio? Because if your income is only $70,000 a month, a year, if your income is only $70,000 a year, why would somebody give you $300,000?
You've been watching, Eugene? Because a house is an asset, dumbass. Even if you don't pay it and they come and foreclose on the bitch, they can still resell it for the same fucking price.
If you're only bringing in $70,000 a year. And most of you are only bringing in under $60,000 a year. So if you're bringing in under $60,000 a year, why would you be approved for something over $100,000?
Because you got 30 years to pay it off, dumbass.
Something over $100,000.
If you make $60,000 a year and you pay $1,000 a month in insurance, not insurance, in mortgage, and your property taxes and your house insurance is wrapped up in your mortgage, all you paying is your house note and your utilities and your car note and your car insurance. And guess what? When you bundle your insurances up, your car insurance and your house insurance, you get a discount. This boy is dumb as hell. And it took how many streams of me saying debt to income ratio before you actually use that phrase?
How would you want to be if you had to pay it back? Because we teach you credit card investing. And so what that would mean is we probably can teach you how to get this.
You can go get a $200,000 house before you can get a $25,000 car because Houses don't depreciate like that as long as you keep up the upkeep and maintenance. But cars depreciate as soon as you take them motherfuckers off the lot. And guess what? You can buy a $50,000 piece of property today, and depending on the market, it can double, triple, quadruple in price, which a car cannot do.
This same house, so this beautiful house that we're in, we probably get you the same house.
That's why you hear about house flipping and not car flipping.
I'm in Miami, so you know the Miami crib crazy, with the Rolls Royce parked right outside, which is a house on wheels. House on wheels. We don't play games. You know, and everything we talk about, we got. So maybe we understand what property taxes are and how property taxes are sold, property taxes, and the infrastructure of the county go. We see there's a direct correlation between mortgage defaults or people failing to pay their mortgages in the community and dilapidated, overcrowded classrooms, potholes, poor light in their neighborhoods, not much fire departments, and so forth and so on. The more people pay property taxes, the more you find the community's thriving. It is a highly competitive school district and a low crime rate. That's how this thing works. Why is this important?
Everybody that owns property pays property tax.
So
if they don't, the government put a lien on their house and eventually they will foreclose on it.
Property taxes are so valuable to society that what the county government does is say, if you go past your redemption period,
property taxes are used for the upkeep and maintenance of utilities, the roads and things like that. That's why when you live out in the country, you have to pay to get your own shit paved in certain places instead of the government doing it because you're out of the city municipality. Dummy.
Which is the amount of time you're allowed to go delinquent, which means past due property taxes. Once it hits its redemption period, the county government has the right to solicit the sale of your debt, thereby calling it a lien, so an investor can make some money off of it and buy the debtor time to come up with the funds. But then when they come up with it, it's $1,500 a year. New Jersey has a 2-year redemption period. Redemption is the amount of time you have to not pay your property taxes before the county government sells your debt for a profit. So New Jersey has a 2-year redemption period. New Jersey has a 2-year period for you not to pay your taxes. You don't pay your taxes in 2 years, that becomes 3.
Fun fact, if you don't live in a big ass city or a state without them crazy ass rules, your property tax is gonna be less than a stack a year.
$8,000, 1.5 times 2.
And most people get their property taxes and shit rolled into their mortgage. So they don't have to worry about a lien being thrown on their shit.
$3K. So now New Jersey says, we'll sell your $3,000 debt to an investor, that could be you, and we'll give them late fees, penalties, surcharges, and about 20%, 21% of this $3K. So 20% of $3,000 is $600. There's more to the story, and I can teach this later on a different day of time. The investor now is promised about $1,200 from their $3,000 investment because they paid for so much past due delinquent property taxes because the redemption period was up. The county government said we're going to sell the amount of taxes that's due, which was $1.5 thousand for 2 years, which was $3,000. And they promised the person who invests $1,200 profit, so they should be getting back $4,200. Hope y'all walking with me. You can always replay it back. Here's the interesting part. Someone might say, what if the property owner doesn't pay the taxes back? Then what? We just out of our money? No, most likely the bank will step in and pay for it. Why? Because the county government says, if no one pays this, but remember, this person has to now pay $4,200. The $3,000 they owe and the $1,200, that's consistent with the 20% promise to the investor because they become surcharge. If no one pays this $4,200, the county government says, We're gonna give this property away to the person that invested in the property taxes for the amount equal to in back taxes. So that means someone's gonna get this $300,000 property for $4,200 plus his real estate closing fees, foreclosure fees and everything. This thing might come up. You might want to spend a little more than $5K to get a property that's worth $300,000. I don't know if you guys caught this. You can essentially get the $300,000 property for $5,000 because the county government says if no one pays back the past due delinquent property tax,
Don't nobody want to be able to like this early in the damn morning.
not based on its assessed value, its fair market value, but we're going to give the property away based on the past due delinquent property taxes. The amount would be in around this after real estate closing fees. You want things to go bad, because if things go right, then you get a $1,200 profit. If things go bad, you get the actual property. This is called a tax lien. You can skip this process and just go get a tax deed and just buy the foreclosed property straight up because it already went through this process. This is the cheaper way or more lengthy time period. Might take you 2 months, might take you 6 months, might take you 8 months. Well, what you do is your due diligence to see how likely it is that nobody will redeem and that you would get the property. And then what you do, you bank on investing on tax liens that you feel no one will redeem on. And in doing so, you make sure when you invest, you make sure it's in a highly reputable school district,
Mickey.
low crime rate, maybe a single family household that sells the most, and then you do the comps to see how many people are interested in properties that's similar to this within a 2 to 3 mile, maybe 5 miles square radius. When you do it this way, you set yourself up for your 20% plus, but if it doesn't work, you set yourself up to have a property that's $300,000 that you paid $5,000 for, and what you're gonna do, because you did your due diligence already, you're gonna sell this property for 40% below its fair market value. So 40% of $30,000 is $120K. So that means you're gonna sell this property for $180,000 below its fair market value at 40%. Because none of the properties that's similar to it that sell in that community can compete with this asking price of $180K. And you were able to accomplish all this by $5,000. Or when you get the deed, because no one redeemed, you go to the bank and you ask for a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. And they'll give you a card, and they'll give you anywhere between 40%, which is $180K, or 60%. 40% of the $300K, which is $120K, or they'll give you 60%, which would be $180K, on a card. You have your revolving line of credit that you don't have to pay back until after the first year in most instances, and you can use that in investing in businesses, get the return from your businesses, pay that back, still have this revolving line of credit at your disposal. And all this was accomplished, $180,000, $120,000 to $180,000 available to you on a card with a lower APR than a credit card. And you can accomplish all of this inside of a span of about 3, 6, 8 months or so. But what if I ain't have the 5K? But what if brother like fix your credit? Get you a credit card that you don't have late fees on, and you swipe your credit card for 5K, and you use this business model. I got so many ways for you to make money. I don't know if people really understood what I just did. Well, the moral of the story is don't buy a house outright, because too many properties have already been foreclosed on. So it's kind of stupid to just buy a house outright unless you really got a working model and you know you're going to make a profit off it. Don't do that. You should use your houses for as low as $1. And I know that shit sounds stupid. But there's properties available to you through government programs and funding for $1. These are different things that I teach. So when you say, why I gotta pay you $2,000 for your mentorship? And to boost your credit, because for those of you that don't have much going on, you ain't got no businesses going on, we're gonna help you set up your business. And then here's another thing we do. A lot of you got bad credit. Why don't you report your rent to the credit bureaus? You probably don't know how to do it.
Now I know you really are not a financial advisor or a credit guru, because guess what? Credit Karma and Experian have set up this thing where it pulls all of your shit, your Netflix bill and all of that, and it stacks it up so that you get extra credit points. This is how I know you lying. Why can't you report your rent? Well, it depends on your landlord, but some rent does get reported. You ain't rented in God knows how long, and you sure enough ain't bought shit like property.
You don't teach you in school. You people got poor credit, and don't you know if you report your rent to credit bureaus, we can raise your score up 50 plus points? We can raise your score up 50 plus points. 50 plus. Just by reporting your rent. Now, don't you think credit bureaus all know people are paying rent? But it's not being reported. That's what we call a positive item. You're adding a positive item. So, if you have a friend or you live in someone's house, you can talk to them. I don't want to tell you nothing illegitimate.
You mean illegal? You mean illegal? You've been doing that the whole time.
But if you're living in someone's home and it's at your disposal, find out how much you're paying per month rent, so it can be reported.
If your name ain't on that list, it ain't happening, baby.
Find out how much you're paying per month rent, and then let's make sure we report how much you're paying per month rent to whatever, and have that report. We will report it for you, and we'll add it as a positive item to your report. And that's going to boost your credit. And it's also going to put us in position to get you loans that are more significant in amount. And so you go to brotherpolite45@gmail.com, leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready for the mentorship to learn how to make more money and take advantage of opportunities that exist that you don't have to pay the monies back. All I asked was 10% of every money that I help you get that you don't have to pay back.
Truth
10%
hey, how you doing?
of every dollar, 10%. So I help you get $200,000, I'm asking for $20,000 because you don't have to pay back. If I help you get $300,000, I'm asking you for $30,000. And then if I help you get another $26,000, I ask you for $2,600. And if you got 8 employees, if you got 100 people in your phone and you got a business and you come to me and you talk to me like you some damn sole proprietorship, you might get smacked. And after I smack you, then we're gonna wake you up and say, bruh, why do you got 100 contacts in your phone and you say you only got 1 or 2 people as employees? That is bullcrap. Then erase your contacts. Because what we're gonna do, we wanna maximize this. You know, employee retention credit, you got a company and you got 5 employees, that's cute. But if you got 10 employees, that's 10 times $26,000, $260,000.
But that money is for the employees, not for the business owner. That money is to pay the employees, even though they could not work during the pandemic.
Shit, if you had 100 employees,
You gonna get yourself and a whole bunch of other people.
we ain't gonna OD like that. Man, I mean, shit. I think you guys can get up to 10 employees. Get to $260,000. A lot of you, the only disconnect is the information. Because a lot of you have enough things going on, business-wise, with your truck driving business, we can get you money. That's just a fact. If you're alive, we will get you money.
Hey, Adrian.
You just got to tweak the credit and not the part of the credit that they've been teaching you about, because they've been miseducating you. The little bit you know about credit, you might as well throw that in the trash. So my score is this. Man, we help people with aiming the scores in the 700s. Okay, they were more active and their file was more thick than the person with the 750 score who just plays it safe and only plays the same thing over and over and over and over again. So the point is,
Adrian,
leave your full name and your phone number. Please don't contact us if you're not ready. Leave your full name and your phone number. Get that consumer math form. Leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready to spend your $2,000 and invest in yourself and change your life. Nobody's really going out their way to teach this. And I do this on my free time. For those of you that follow me, you know I just came back from Dubai. I went to support my friend in his boxing fight, Floyd Mayweather. Right after that, I went to my business because I have a restaurant in Dubai. And I'm working on opening up an office in Dubai. I just came back from Dubai. Those of you that follow me, y'all know this. Went to Floyd's boxing fight and went to my restaurant right after. Right in Dubai. I just got back from Dubai. I went to LA for 36 hours. Hug and kiss my babies. Say peace to my wives. And then I went to TripCTreehouse. I got some business I got to deal with out there. I'm going to connect with my good brother, Ariza, who was playing for the Lakers at one point. My man Trev. And we're going to be talking some business. I should be going back out there again very soon to do some business out there in Turks and Caicos. Right now I'm in Miami. And I'll be going to the Bahamas for some dinner this evening, and then I'll be coming right back here. Bahamas is about 20 minutes from here by flight, 2.5 hours by boat. I'm gonna go by boat, and I'm gonna fly back. The 20-minute flight. To just get something to eat in the Bahamas, because, you know, I don't feel like eating in Miami tonight.
Which one? Hold on a second, y'all. Every day until he can't no more, Adrian. Then he talking about he taking 20 people to
shit like that, man. That's how we supposed to live. You know, it's always about thinking. Now, even when I'm doing my thing here subconsciously, it shows the parts of the brain that deals with these attributes like strength, courage, respect. Right over here on the right side. Right? So, you've done or undergone enough mental calisthenics, so much so that you can solve the riddle quicker. You can employ logic a lot faster. So always keep things around you to stimulate your mind so you don't fall shy or just short of success. Anyway, people talk, they talk. It ain't quite one like me because I will always show you and break it down. And like I said, I could do a whole thing on this whole thing. But then what would be the glory in that? Like, we'll be here forever. That's stuff I do for private classes, private courses, or when I'm mentoring. Make sure you understand what's going on. And then what we're going to do after that, at the end of the day, get you the bread. I just wanted you to have a point of reference for all the naysayers telling you what's not true. The 7202 form is available to you, and you guys can get over 50 bands as entrepreneurs. You get over $50,000 for that. You can't say you haven't been affected negatively within the last year. In 2020, you can't say you wasn't affected negatively. You can't say you wasn't affected negatively. That's just a lie. I doubt it. You can't say that. If you say it, you're lying to yourself. Get your money. If you're driving Uber, you're driving Lyft, get your money back. You're making less than $511 a day, get your money back. Stop tearing down your own car for someone else's company and calling yourself an entrepreneur and not getting nothing out of it. And I'm saying Uber and Lyft, not limited to, but I just know a lot of you guys do Uber and Lyft. And that's your entrepreneur plug, right? And so, before shit gets overwhelming, get the money that's available to you. I don't call it free money, because if you're Uber and Lyft, you're paying money and making money to do Uber and Lyft. So when that money comes, that's just do you, based on circumstances that were out of your control. And they understand that. But we don't understand it. So no such thing as free money. No, we're not talking about free money. I don't never talk about free money. I'm talking about what you work for. You got a company, you took time out to research, study, or whatever to get to the point of having a company. You did what you had to do. You did what you had to do to get in that position, and it costed you. So now I'm just telling you, the money's available for the work you put in. It's not free money. It's just money that's available to you. And if you don't take it, someone else is going to take it, and then they're going to run out of it, and then the program's over. Now I got about 18 other programs. I could have I can spend a whole day teaching you about 18 programs I know of that most of you will qualify for at least 5 or 6 out of them, just based on your gender or your age, previous employment history, previous account information, credit card status or the lack of it thereof. I can show you any of a number of different ways.
Yeah, he said he can get you loans that you don't have to pay back.
But yes, we can add rent to your credit history. It's called a positive item. And then what that would be is an installment. We have it as an installment because in order to make you bankable, you gotta have at least 3 revolving accounts and 1 installment. And the 3 revolving accounts have variable interest, which means it fluctuates, and then the 1 installment is fixed interest. So now what this means is 3 revolving accounts. 3 revolving accounts can be consistent of 3 different credit cards. And then 1 installment can be a boat, car, house. Well, we can add your rent to your credit and make it as an installment so you can be conceived or perceived to be bankable. And that's important because then we leverage that bankable status into you getting access to funds, 6 figures up or 5 figures up that you don't have to pay back. 3 revolving accounts, variable interest, 1 installment, fixed rate. And that is
Right,
the
Shadow.
definition of being bankable, which many people
But he
are.
also talking about investing with your credit card, and we know that
Good
ain't
knowledge.
going down.
They can give you a lot of free information right now. But like I said, you need a coach, you need a trainer. Because when it comes to any other sport, that's what you got. But they don't make money sports for us. So we just figure one day maybe things should just work out. Or maybe if I get more than 1 job, eventually I'll achieve my life goals. That's typically a lie. Maybe if I only use credit cards for when I don't have the money, yeah, that strategy will put you in debt very fast. When I talk about credit card investing, what? And you got to pay back? Traditionally, the concept of giving people access to money that they don't have is normally constructed under the paradigm of investing to get returns. So I don't really understand what the credit card is for if it's not for that. Because there's only 2 models you can use. 1, only use it when I absolutely don't have the money.
Right, Shadow.
And of course, things such as demand cards, right? But you can use your debit card for that. Only use the credit card when I absolutely don't have the money. And that is a recipe to one day not have the money to pay back because you didn't have the money in the first place when you swiped it. Or use the money that was given to me that they want interest in to invest, because like any other loan, you ask for the loan so you can make an investment so you'll have the money and the resources to pay it back with a little interest. So what the hell you think a credit card is for? We're not nickel and diming you. We're talking about getting you credit cards that give you $50,000 limits and $100,000 limits and unlimited credit cards and smart cards and no annual late fee, no annual fee, no late fee, no foreign exchange fee, no. Like, bro, like you're not even talking. Stop seeing yourself in a small place and see yourself where you intend to be. I became a multi-millionaire because I was studying
Hold on, wait a minute.
to protect myself as a
He a multi-millionaire, but he thinks a mortgage calculator is the same thing as a regular calculator.
millionaire. So I was studying so much finances under the pretense I would be a millionaire that eventually it materialized. A boxer is fighting under pretense they're going to win the title. The basketball player is training with the mindset that one day he's going to win the championship. Under pretense to be a millionaire, or how you just wish that you become a millionaire one day. I want to train you. I want you to be training. I want you to go through the tires with the black under your eyes, like, I'm going to be a millionaire. Fuck this. Part of my language. I want you to get up in the morning and do your mental push-ups and read publications like Barron's newspaper and Kiplinger's magazine to increase your ability to understand the verbiage that's being used in the financial world. in the financial world. So you can acclimate yourself to a better understanding.
You gotta
So you can
acclimate,
facilitate
y'all.
on your own behalf one day without my aid or assistance. And you will progress over
Somebody
time.
that don't
but
know
you
no better,
need
Kiana.
freaking coach. Because it's more efficient that way. You'll get there quicker. You'll get there faster. But hey, I just say it's best to talk to people who have achieved the level of success that you are aspiring to have.
Yo,
because it's coming from
tell y'all, right?
Point in a place.
I gotta get my ignition switch fixed on my truck. It's like the end of the year. It's always some bullshit with a vehicular for me.
Truth. People have relationship fights all the time and not even in a good relationship themselves. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I thank you guys. I'm truly blessed for you guys to have listened to me for this long. This was wanted to bring it back to that vintage Polight.
You had somebody, you staying in somebody's house with a marker board.
Bring it back to that vintage Polight. And
you better not drop that man Predator figurine. That shit probably cost $1,000.
Yeah, vintage Polight and bring it back and get you guys where you need to be in terms of finances, man. I wanted to just bring you guys back and let you know.
Boy, stop.
That I could be teaching about racially inspired things. I could teach you about a lot of history. Teach you about the possibility of UFOs. I could talk to you greatly about how Kanye West and Kyrie Irving could have
You look like
approached
a
things
rotten
differently.
watermelon. A rotten, bust open
We
watermelon.
can talk about Illuminati and its impact on the music industry, and all this shit is exciting.
He
You talk about
is
Zodiac. Shit, we even start palm reading. But all these people know about all these different possibilities that have no impact on themselves or their family. And people say, well, you can't take this when you die with you. Oh, so you never heard of a trust? What is a trust? A trust is property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. You said, Polight, I'm talking about heaven. You can't take none of the things of this world with you. I said, but it's all about a trust. A trust is property held on behalf of one so that another may benefit. Last I checked.
You know what you have to do to make sure that your children's shit is intact when you pass? Make sure you know about inheritance law.
We all come from some people. We might leave this planet before them prematurely. And we leave some people here that came after us. But we have family members that come after
Hey, 2K
us.
a few weeks ago.
So this is called wealth
Patiently waiting, no correspondence as of yet.
So sure, I can't take these material assets with me into heaven here. After my hard work,
baby, your
so
money
things
gone.
will be easier for the generation to come. So that idea is flawed. Well, you can't take it with you to heaven, so who cares?
The people that you are preying on don't have anything to leave to their descendants.
Yeah, that's a clever
They ain't gonna have their rent money fucking with you.
people. But the reality is, I'm not just merely doing these things for myself, I'm doing it for my children. I'm doing it for my nephews, I'm doing it for my nieces. I'm doing it for my wives. I'm doing it in case I leave before anyone.
Right,
I'm doing it for any one of them that should be here when I go. And you should be too.
A whole
And
lot
this
of
is the
lawsuits
epitome
they
of
gotta
spirituality.
settle against his
That bring back full
estate.
cycle. That's what I'm talking about, spirituality. And spirituality is the property or the revenue of the clergy or members of the church. And we need to practice spirituality in its highest form. We need to get our property. We need to generate our revenue as a community. Okay? And that's how we achieve wealth or wellness.
Hold on, look at that hand in the background. That is not omelette.
CCCTV45@gmail.com.
That is a man, and I don't think he is of African descent at all.
Give your full name and your phone number when you're ready to purchase. The credit
I know
restoration
y'all saw
service
that
is
little white man.
$2,000. Don't
See that? Go
call,
again.
don't leave your number unless you are ready to pay. It's okay. You can wait until you're ready. Brother Polight.
Eugene, what's with that Caucasian like hand that keep popping into the video?
Phone number when you are ready to purchase $2,000 service and change your life. Blessings and abundance. Eluval, perpetual success, Escudador, Black Power. Hotel Bar Bottle Cap. Peace and blessings. Eluval, y'all.
Shame, shame, shame. An hour and 6 minutes. Now let's pull it back a little bit and let's look at that hand.
That came after us.
right, Melissa.
But we have family members that come after us.
What did we learn from this live stream? Absolutely nothing. Yup, Adrian. That's that dude house he at. Dollars to Donuts. That's that dude house he at. In the front there's an American flag and some golf clubs and some golf shoes. And then that must be that guy office, because he got all kind of collectibles up on top. See, there go one right there. There was that Predator in front of the marker board. And then on top of the marker board, there's some of them bobbleheads still in the box. We know this ain't your shit, Eugene. We know this ain't your shit. And there goes some golf clubs again right there. Boom. Called it here in Miami at that dude house. Dude already put it out. Tasha K been put that shit out. You staying with that white man. You staying with that white guy. And he letting you scam in his house. He can't be no more legit than you. Somebody called him a hotel. No more legit than you. Walking around with mix and match outfits, talking about you got money. Negro. No. 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 That's them pants that go to this shirt right here. And then he got a shirt right here, and he got some shorts to go with that one too. Cause he been wearing this same little mix and match outfit for about 3-4 weeks now, off and on. See, there it go again. There it go again. He think he cute. In who world? In who world? Who told you that shit? It must have been Amunet. And we know she was lying. See? There we go. This nigga got on Pringle socks. He got on Pringle socks. But these the same pants, another shirt, that same hat, and some Pringle socks. This all came from, he got this outfit, and then he break it down with some other outfits. He did mix and match. Mix and match Eugene. He get like 2 matching outfits and then mix and match them motherfuckers together. And then act like he's just styling. No, you are not. This picture old as hell. This picture's about 6 years old at least. So is this one. He just keeps, and then he got this girl, Lord Jesus, she really is going to jail. Get right, Melissa. And he think this shit is cute, but it's not. And he keep rotating these pictures like we don't notice. Look, dude, ain't but so many patterns. And then he throw up all pics to confuse you. But guess what? In all of these, Eugene, you look ugly. UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. Yeah, yeah, you ugly. Hold on, that's wrong. Let me click on this. And see, look at this talking about he was in the studio. Hey girl, you say you sent him your 2 stacks and you ain't got no email back yet? This is where your 2 stacks went. This Rolls Royce rental right here. And he booked the whole night at the studio. And I'm quite sure some of your money went to that too. That's his middle name, Adrian. Hey, look.
You know what it is?
It's either a rental or it's Mayweather's, one of the two. One of the two. You don't never actually see him making no music, but you see him sit at the soundboards and shit. Dude, we know you just flogging at the studio. He fell out that tree, hit every stick on the way down. Somebody wrenched his ass back up, and then he fell down again. This was not a one-time occurrence, baby. And see, this is a mess. This is a hot, steamy mess. I swore he was going to go live on Thanksgiving fussing about estrogen and turkeys. But I was wrong, family. I was wrong. But he was close. He went live on Black Friday weekend. I'm like, how can you take him seriously? If Pharaoh got it from him, Adrian. That's how Pharaoh stepped out into the so-called YouTube conscious community scene, talking about Polight scamming him. Was it for $2,000? I don't know. It might have been a little bit more than that. But Pharaoh sued him, won, but Polight still ain't paid him, and that's been what, 3-4 years now at least. Pharaoh got mad because Eugene was supposed to teach him the tricks of the trade. And instead, he just got tricked. Same thing with Crypto Roots. He was going to teach Crypto Roots the tricks of the trade. This is just a crying shame. And then after all these years, he's still running around scamming. He got over 100K from Crypto Roots. And people still talking about Polight is the truth. Brother Polight, the truth. The truth that's going to get you in jail. That's that same truth they be telling you is the truth on the streets. Right before your ass get locked the fuck up. It's sad. And it's like, if I can just help one person every once in a while from filing for this bullshit, I'm good. It's past sad, Adrian. And it's like, okay, like, somebody put under one of my videos on the backup channel, like, and you can clearly see that that's the backup channel. So somebody put on the backup channel, which is CCCTV. The main channel is TripCTreehouse. But they put on there talking about, well, if he don't know, how do you fix your credit? And then I replied and they ain't said shit since. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, we gonna do this little tutorial real quick. If you go to irs.gov, forms and instructions. Hold on, let me see. recovery rebate credit. No. Fix your credit for free. How to fix your credit for free. Experian. Badcredit.org. That's what it is. Or one of them. See, and all he does is takes the bullet points from this stuff, but he doesn't really know how this works because all he does is read the bullet points. So if you keep scrolling, we have the 3 credit bureaus, not 30, but 3, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. They tell you can file disputes with them. You may look into credit repair software. Free consultation with a credit repair company, because guess what? I fixed mine for free too. And all you have to do is a little bit of research on Google and fill out a couple of forms. Sign in to like Experian and see if you have anything that's not supposed to be on there, and then you dispute it. Monthly cost $79. They offer a 90-day guarantee. This is for people that just can't do it themselves. Credit repair is something that should be done continuously. You should check your credit reports annually for mistakes, even if you have bad credit, even if you have good credit, because you could be a victim of identity theft, and thieves could use your stolen personal information to open credit accounts in your name. The investigation of a credit dispute should take 30 days. That's how long the credit bureau has to contact the creditors, verify the information, and respond. After 30 days, the bureau must update you on your inquiry. More documentation may be needed, which adds more time to the process. Once a dispute has been registered, many of your states require the credit bureau to provide a free credit report to the claimant. Free credit report. You are eligible for 1 free credit report a year from the major credit bureau, from the 3 major credit bureaus. Jinx, Melissa, you owe me a Coke. Do credit repair services actually work? As TransUnion, which is one of the 3 major credit bureaus, explains on its website, credit repair companies can't do anything different than what you can do for free yourself. It may be faster and cheaper to contact TransUnion or the other credit reported agencies directly. Another fun fact. Damn, lost my train of thought. Yeah, another fun fact. When you go in and they make credit, like say you go in and apply for a car, and they make a credit inquiry for you. Hey, Earl. Girl, do you know Experian, you can do it online now? You ain't even got to send you ain't even got to get no stamp or no envelope. You can do it online, baby. I did. I rented this apartment, right? Now, mind you, all paid up. Move out. Then they gonna try to tell me, your lease isn't up and this, that, and you have to pay a whole nother month of rent. And I was like, no, the fuck I don't, because that's not in my lease. Turns out they was going around trying to make people sign new leases, and I didn't have new lease. Okay, so they say, okay, you don't have to pay that. Like 4 months later, shit pop up on my credit report talking about I owe these motherfuckers $300 or something. So I called him and I'm like, yo, where's this money supposed to have come from? Because I paid y'all. And they was like, well, it's supposed to be such and such. I said, you know what? The amount y'all put on the credit site and the amount that I paid is totally different. So y'all lying and y'all owe me money. So then all of a sudden they want to take it off. Yeah, you want to take it off because you was trying to double fucking dip. And then you didn't even put the same amount in. So when I sent that receipt from that USPS money order into Experian, they took that shit right the fuck off my credit. Right right, Melissa. If they can verify the debt, it stays. If they can't verify the debt, it does not stay. They are putting new laws in place so that your medical debt will not go on your credit report. How's that? How you like them apples? So you can dispute that shit too, because it's not supposed to be there. If you go to buy a car, make sure you have a loan beforehand, because they will run your credit to the gods at the dealership. That's why you go to a reputable dealership, because they don't do it. They still do it, but they don't do it as much. Like, I went to go buy this car, right? The truck I got now. I went to go buy it. I had a pre-approved loan from my bank. The bank gonna tell me, oh, because when you get a pre-approved loan from your bank, they gonna try to make sure that you don't get screwed over, so they don't get screwed over and they get their payments from you. So they said, oh, well, the mileage is a little bit too high for this model and this, that, and the other. So the guy's like, oh, we can get you in another car. And if we can't get you in another car, and this is the important thing, he says, if we can't get you in another car, then I'll work it so you can get this one. He took it back in the back, and they ran my credit report, and all of a sudden my phone started going off. They done ran it through 3 different goddamn bureaus. How long does that take to drop? Every time they do a pull on your credit, it takes 2 years, maybe 3, for it to drop off. So then now I got 3 of those. It drops your points down. When people say this isn't going to affect your credit score, they a goddamn lie. So come back, and they was like, oh, we can put you in a brand new car for such and such. And I'm like, you smoking crack, ain't you? You smoking crack, because I came in here for this, and now y'all trying to put me in this. So then I was like, well, you know what? If y'all can't do that, I don't want to do nothing. Needless to say, I drove off the lot with the vehicle that I came for less than what I was going to pay. Yeah, you can do that too, Adrian. Because when they tell you it's not going to affect your credit and it do, you have that right, because, you know, they lied. They lied. Also, the interest rate is better when you do it via a bank versus on the lot. Yo, back when I had the Prius, right? I had went to the Toyota dealership to get something done on it, and I was walking to the... Most companies don't keep collection files on people past 3 years, so if your collection is over 3 years old, chances are it won't be verified by the credit bureau. So you should be able to dispute that and take that off, right, Melissa? But when I had the Prius, I went in to get some work done on it at the Toyota dealership. So I was walking to the store, and one of the salesmen, I guess he thought he was finna make a sale. And he was like, well, what kind of car you got? I was like, I said, you know, a 2000 Toyota Prius. Oh, well, you know, we can put you in this one right here. How much are your monthly payments? I said $135. He said, because he was like, yeah, we can beat whatever you paying now. How much you paying? $135. Ooh, never mind. Yeah, yeah. You come out better when you go to your banking institution and get a loan for a vehicle versus trying to get a loan off the lot. Your credit fares better, and you get a little bit more wiggle room and shit. Okay? Alright. So, do we have any questions so far? Mm-hmm. Girl, I just waited a couple of years and didn't apply for shit and just let everything fall off. Even when you go in to get a loan on a house, they gonna run your credit. They gonna run your credit at least twice. When you initiate the loan and right before you sign the paperwork. Why? Because they want to make sure everything's still the fucking same. People go and apply to buy a house and then quit their job and shit. They don't want that. You know, simple shit. that all you have to look, anything you want to know, you can ask Google. And Google usually got 9 times out of 10, Google got an answer for you. And they got more than one answer. Because they give you a whole search list. Look, Forbes, how to fix your credit in 7 easy steps. And they all say this, always pay your bills on time. Keep your credit utilization rate below 30%. That's your debt to income ratio. If it's under 30%, you have an easier time getting a loan than if it's over 30%. Pay down other debts. Pay down everything you can. I say you go for the smaller debts first, pay them off completely, because then they get off your credit report, and then go for paying the bigger ones and bigger. Bankruptcies get discharged after 2 years. I thought it was 7. But see, I ain't never filed for bankruptcy, so that ain't, you know. But I do know a little bit about fixing up your credit. Check your credit regularly. See, these are all things that you can do yourself. But Eugene, how to improve your credit? Lending Tree. Any of these financial institutions that you can get a loan from, they usually have some section on how to fix your credit. If you were in the military a couple of years ago, there was a hack. So all military members got a free subscription to Experian, meaning you can log in anytime you like and dispute whatever the fuck you like. If you want to upgrade it so you can do stuff like lock your credit, it's less than $30 a month. You know, all of these things you can do yourself. But he wants you to pay him $2,000. Then he gonna sign you up for some fraudulent ass shit, and he want 20% of that as well. So then when the government come looking for your ass, you on the hook for all that money he got you for quote unquote free. Shame, shame, shame. All that can be done for the free 99. All it takes is a little bit of time. Are you going to be able to purchase a $500,000 house? More than likely not. Are you going to be able to go out and purchase a luxury car? More than likely not, because your income does not reflect that. You still got one leg up on me, Melissa. Sage, Stream, and Clarion. Yup. See, I go in, I keep my credit frozen. And then when I go to do something, I say, hold on a minute. Unlock it, tell them to run it. Soon as my phone dings and tell me it's ran, I go and lock that motherfucker right back up. They can make a soft pull, and a soft pull will not hit the credit bureau's radar. But a hard inquiry, that's what you have to wait 2-3 years to drop off your credit. All you gotta do is buckle down. Don't use any credit cards that you have. Pay them joints off. Live within your means and just wait for that shit to drop off. You might say, well, I don't have 7 years. Well, everything isn't going to be 7 years unless you just go and just apply for shit every day. Like when you go out to do stuff, have a plan beforehand. Just don't wake up one morning and say, ooh, I want to buy a car and go to the dealership. You do your research, find out which car you can afford. And then you go to your bank and get a loan and say, hey, I want to get, usually the bank will tell you how much you can afford. Yeah, and once they sell that debt off, you are no longer on the hook for it. These people have insurance. So them people call you talking about, well, this was $500, but if you pay us $150, we'll wipe it off. Dude. And when those people call, if you acknowledge, I believe that starts it all over again. I graduated high school, but I'm not sitting up here acting like I'm a credit expert. This is just a layman and what a layman knows, okay? And I sound more legit than Eugene. And that's sad. Because he want to sit up here and use big words like compendium and green card receipts and credit restoration microwave, and none of that shit is going to help you. Because all you need is a dispute letter. Pay your bills on time. Guess what? If you, yeah, Adrian, you can do it yourself. All it takes is a little bit of research. And guess what? If you get that under $30 plan from Experian, that's when you can add your stuff like Netflix. Look, they count your utility bill on your credit. They count. It depends on what area you in. If your utility company, pings on that, but if they can find it, they will add that shit, and it will boost your credit like 20, 30 points, depending on how much stuff you have on there. All your little apps that you pay for every month, half of them will show up on your credit report. It's called the credit boost. You know what? I ain't with y'all today. I am not with y'all today. It's Saturday. But yeah, all this stuff is called credit boost. And it will sit there and it will boost your credit. And guess what? If you don't pay your Netflix bill on time, it's not going to affect your credit report negatively. Ta-da! Yeah, Adrian. YouTube sex symbol in the house. But he sit up here thinking that, throwing words around like Nexus, Lexus, and ERC. But are they even doing the ERC next year when taxes right around the corner? Don't be getting them early tax returns and giving that money to Eugene now. Because he go to court. Trial start in February. So, yeah, he trying to get up that money to pay David. See you later, Adrian. Have a good day. We gonna be live too much longer. But, yes. All of these things can be accomplished by you with no help from Live a Lip Eugene, walking around looking like a rotten, busted watermelon. He got bigger fish to fry than your credit. 2 or 3 people came in there and said, hey, I haven't gotten a reply back. One girl said, I sent my money and I ain't received no email. Yeah, he did that. He's talking about, he says the pharmaceutical industry has a score, but it's not a credit score. Look, some medication is scheduled, what do they call it? Schedule 2 drugs or whatever. And you cannot get over a certain amount. So if you go to Dr. Henry and get a prescription to Percocet, you cannot then turn around and go to Dr. Floyd and get a prescription for Percocet 2 days later. Because why? Those pills are scheduled. Hey, Nick, boo. Those pills are scheduled. You have a 30-day supply, and you cannot get another prescription until that 30-day supply is over. They had to change that because people were doing what was called doctor shopping, where they would go to one doctor and get a prescription, then go to another doctor and get a prescription. Yeah, it's kind of early, Niqua. Eugene went live, so I had to go. And then they go to another doctor and get another prescription, and all of these prescriptions are the same. So they put a system in at the pharmacy. So the pharmacy knows when you get a scheduled drug. Yeah, they control substances and highly addictive. ADHD medicine is one of them. Percocet, Valium, all that. Now, once you get that one prescription for the month, you can't go to another doctor and get that same prescription for that controlled substance. That's why they put that in place. It has nothing to do with your credit score. But he's telling you that it does. See how that work out for you. I don't know nobody that's got a payment plan for Percocets. So that's a totally different scoring system. I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, Niqua said it's a prescription monitoring program. No, I don't think Viagra is a controlled substance, although it might need to be. It might be, but I'm not sure. Melissa. He said it was over 30 credit scores, and your doctor visits was one of them. Yeah. He's inferring the social credit score system. He's taking different things that don't belong. It's called PMP. Thank you, Niqua. He's taking different things that don't belong and putting them under the umbrella of credit. There are 3 major credit bureaus: TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Yeah, and they also drug test you. Some places drug test you every month to make sure that you're taking the pills and not selling them, depending on how bad the area is. Man, I know everybody walking around their houses talking about there's something burning. People done cut their heaters on because I'm sitting up here sniffing. But this is all stuff that he is too slow to know. And then he's sitting up here telling you to go and ask an accountant or a financial advisor, knowing good and goddamn well that you don't know nobody like that, and you probably can't afford nobody like that. Because if you could afford them, then you would have went to them in the first place and not little Eugene on the internet looking like a rotten, busted open watermelon. Did this child cut the heat up? Lord. I done seen about 3 or 4 videos about it. Walking around sniffing. Is something burning? This nigga didn't cut the heat on. Lost it? Did he ever have it in the first place, though? Because see, these are the things that you need to know to fix your credit. There's some things that you need to know to fix your credit. And then you too, Melissa, have a good day. And then some of this shit he be talking about ain't got nothing to do with fixing your credit. his stock tip got your teeth looking like that. Okay then. But yeah. A lot of that stuff that he's sitting up there showing you a tax form from 2021, and it's 2022, and I don't even know if they doing that again this year. They might be, but I don't think so. Okay, so you can claim it for 50 days in 2022. Maximum 50-day family leave credit allowed, up to $200 per day and $10,000 in the aggregate. Each credit is reduced by any qualified sick leave wages or qualified family leave wages received from an employer. So this 7202 form that he's talking about is for the employers. Credit microwave life. but it's not for you as it's for you as an employee, but it gets paid to the employer to make up for the difference where they couldn't pay you. But he's telling you this is gonna fix your credit and get you some extra money, because he's telling you to form up to say you have a business that you don't actually have and put people down as employees out your contact. He said to use your contact list and put everybody in your contact list down as employees. I got people that used to work in the Pentagon in my contact list. So I'm not going to follow that advice, because I would end up in fucking Leavenworth. And I advise you not to do it either, even though you might not have somebody that used to work in the Pentagon in your contact list. Tasha, why do you have people? One of them is my mentor. Some of them I used to work with. Okay? That's enough of an answer for that. But seeing as how we used to work for the government, they still keep tabs on us. Light tabs, but tabs. Yeah, Nick, when he talking about he gonna flim flam. Just a little bit of flim flam. Now, this ain't just this video. This is the videos preceding this video as well. But this is what he tells people. And they don't know no better. They don't know no better. Because everybody been running around hollering about free money. But if you ain't seen them folk getting locked up behind this quote-unquote free money, you just don't watch the news, baby. Because they getting locked up every day. It ain't stopped. If you go to the PPP loan website, it tell you. And he's still sitting up here, but see, he's not implementing any of this stuff because he just takes your $2,000. But this is the so-called free advice that he's giving out while he's trying to lure you in to pay them $2,000. And then he gonna try to make it seem legit, talking about, yeah, I'm gonna get you some money, but I want 20% off the back end. Well, guess what? When you go in for credit repair services, you're not supposed to pay until after your credit is fixed. Once they fix your credit, then you pay them. You pay no upfront fees for credit repair. And that's from the government. That's the law. The law. Okay? That's the law. That's the law of the land that we reside in. If you don't like it, leave. But if you send Eugene money, that probably means you ain't got a lot. And if you can't fix your credit, I highly doubt you can fill out a passport application. But why you want to travel out the country and you can't reliably pay your rent? Yeah. It was $500, Earl. That's what it was. It was $500, and he was supposed to give him all the documents he needed to set up just like him. And you see what happened. But no, this is getting ridiculous at this point. But, you know, more and more people every day, I think, are realizing that Eugene is full of shit. We still have the hardcore people that just gotta believe him, but I don't know if y'all even worth saving at this point, because, you know, look, the problem with black people is they don't want to turn nobody into the authorities. That's why he's still running around here scamming, because don't nobody want to report him. They'll sit up there and go under his live all day talking about, you ain't hit me up, but they won't call the folk. Guess what? Anything over $500 is a Fed charge, if I'm not mistaken. Taking money for services and goods and then not providing those services and goods is theft. Repeat that. Taking money for services and goods and then not providing those services and goods is theft. That's like selling somebody a TV box with a rock in it and telling them it's a TV at the store. Now, if you go in the store and you come out and the shit that you bought ain't in that box, you can take it back. If they don't replace it, then they got a problem. Yeah, Shadow, that too. And he ain't saying nothing about this new rule where that Cash App money and stuff, that's $600. Yeah, Shadow. Anybody who believes that your credit score is what determines how many prescriptions you get sneeze they behind whoop. Yes, they do, but some people don't know no better. He had an asthma attack and died, Earl. He didn't kill himself. He had an asthma attack and he was out there in Mexico, not close to a hospital, and I guess he didn't have his inhaler neither. Anything over $600. And I'm quite sure, but see, the thing about Eugene is he doesn't have any credit, nor does he have any bank accounts, nor does he have PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, limit. He has none of that because his PayPal got shut down years ago for fraudulent activities. Remember that stream? Remember that live he did? So he uses other people. That's the purpose of all those women that you see around him. He gets these people to send the money to their accounts, and then he gets it transferred over to, I guess, Scamulet account. Or some kind of, he gets them to give him the money after they receive it. So then, see, he thinks that gives him a layer of protection. But if these people that have gotten $2,000 stolen from them actually report it to the proper authorities, yeah, that Western Union scam too. That's when he got, that's when the LAPD supposedly threw his ass to the ground. Okay. And then he turned around talking about that long behind stream he did about PayPal with him and Scamunet on the phone with supposedly PayPal. He ain't just like Umar. His shit got snatched a long time ago. But he think he's smart, so he gets the money sent to other people, and then he turns around and has the money given to him. So, yeah. I can't with him. But these are the things that he does. These are the things that he says, and people are still falling for this mess. They looking for Eugene, Nick. Well, that's why he keep bouncing back. Why he used to keep bouncing back and forth. Now I don't know what he doing now. He in Miami right now, so he must have a deposition coming up this week. But yeah. See, hey Sparkle. Now see, if Sparrow would have been where he at now back then when he was getting all that money, they'd have tapped his title. If he was down in Texas while he was scamming in Sandra Bland's name, they'd have tapped his title. He's sitting up here, these folks that sent him his money, then he talking about, I'm in the studio, I paid for a 24-hour session. Boy, stop. You was in that studio with somebody else because you said you was going to drop your CD or your album over a month ago, and we still ain't heard shit. So, yeah. Just because you stand in the back of somebody's music video don't make you a rapper, son. Girl, you ain't never heard the Lima Bean song? Just take other people's beats and then supposedly rap over them. Or at least that's what he used to do. I don't know what he called himself doing now besides walking around the studio. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, why they took the flip feature off? This is some bullshit. Here you go. Young Phenom raps in 4 languages. Where's my remote? I just had it. Old and he's still trying to rap. Hold on, y'all have to listen close to hear the lima bean. Hold on, did he just say Malachi? We need a Nuwapian to interpret for us, please. But the last time we tried that, Moo said that it didn't sound quite right. So yeah. Yo, I cut this shit on and turned around. Crystal giving me the damn side eye. No playing her game. Oh, you're not feeling that hot fire? Hold on, wait a minute. There's more. Yay, Moses, oh baby. I moon net since I tomb Ray. Featuring Polight. It's supposed to be Earl. Now, Moo did say that Amunet is more fluent than Polight in Nuwapo. But yeah, he says he's a young phenom that's raps in 4 languages, but don't nobody know what the hell he talking about because don't nobody else speak them languages. You will take the time to do shit like this but you won't actually take the time to go out and legitimize yourself. Priorities just all fucked up. Now, mind you, this is 11 years ago, and he's still out here doing the same mess.
Yeah, Mosey.
Okay, that's enough of that. I ain't taking up Tyler now for this shit. But, yeah. 11 years at least he been out here trying to rap and ain't made it yet, boy. I heard Lima Bean, Malachi Earl say he heard him say he be robbing. He probably did. But, I mean, I look, hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. How many cars does a rich person go through? I'm gonna see if I can find that video where he was fucking it up in the alley though, and we gonna go back over that shit. But do we have any questions, comments, concern? Anybody in the bushes, polite than scam, that want to come and speak up? No one? No one today? Well, y'all are always welcome to come and tell your polite scam me stories, because we are always interested, and it helps to build up the case against him on social media, because he ain't helping nobody make no money but himself. He done had BMWs. Remember the car that he was fucking it up in the alley? That was some kind of dark car with suicide doors. The only time you saw him in that was in LA. And then it disappeared. He supposedly had the BMW, and then he started the Rolls Royce Diaries, and he was riding around in that same busted ass Rolls Royce for years. Then he added the purple one into the mix, and then when he goes on his quote-unquote road trips, it's a whole different vehicle or somebody else's vehicle. He drives around Miami in Floyd Mayweather shit sometimes, and that other dude he be staying with, the Caucasian-looking fellow, and you know, he's been in other people's houses, timeshares allegedly. If you own property, why the fuck did you rent a house and not pay your rent? You know, all this stuff. All this stuff adds together to mean you are not legitimate, dude. Polight, aka Michael Eugene Nowak, and it's not doxing because his whole name is already out there, is full of shit. He does not have any property. He does not have any cars. He didn't graduate high school. He cannot help you fix your credit because he has none of his own. He thinks prescription scheduled drug monitoring is credit. Okay? I mean, what else do we have to put out here besides the fact that he is known to have bothered with a child? Not this case that's going on right now, but the one where the father tried to hem his ass up and he damn near pissed on himself. That's the one I'm talking about right now. And then don't forget little old Riot, who might be deaf, and she was 16, 17 when they got together. You know, so add all that together, makes this nigga dirty and a scammer. He is the dirty, nasty, filthy scammer. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your dog. Hide your wallets too. Because this Negro coming through trying to take it all. If there are no further questions, I'm going to end this live right here. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. And this is TripCTreehouse, where it's always swinging and